today on 15 on 15.
We could be seeing a decreased volume of tourists coming to Aruba, but this is not necessarily a bad development. We'll tell you why. Plus, women can have big breasts temporarily. This is called vacation boobs. And comedians tell us why they chose this line of work. Thanks for joining us. I'm Yentl Lieuw. We could be seeing less tourists coming to the island soon. Hotels are strategizing together with ATA and the Ministry of Tourism to work on engaging the tourists with a higher income rather than attracting an increased volume in visitors. So far, the goal is being met. The hotels have finalized their numbers year to date. They indicate that the average daily room rate has increased, meaning the amount of money tourists are spending is going up. In order to continue this trend, hotels have to focus on the more affluent market, meaning Aruba could be seeing a decrease in the volume of visitors.
Everything that we're hearing in terms of forecasts suggests that the numbers are going to continue relatively strongly. But remember, the basic strategy is to improve RevPAR. And a lot of that has to do with improving room rates. So some of the hotels are not going to see much of an increase in occupancy, but they will see an increase in the average daily room rate, and that will translate into RevPAR.
Although the tourism industry's goal is slowly being met, there are other challenges that comes with this new strategy.
Real issue now, I think, and this is a destination strategy, this is not just a hotel strategy, is yield. Basically what we're trying to do is to basically generate more income from the visitors, not just in terms of the hotel, but in terms of spending throughout the whole community. And I think the whole idea is working and will continue to work.
The idea is to have visitors leave behind more money on their trip everywhere, not just in the hotels. Ultimately, this ensures the tourist is capable of spending. In order to do so, they must earn a certain amount of income.
Basically, what we're looking for is a visitor who has a higher demographic when it comes to income, and basically one who will be spending more throughout the community as a whole.
Speaking of affluent tourists, since Brazil's economy is booming, perhaps that market should be one of the main focus. Well, good thing Yentl Lieuw will be flying twice weekly to the largest city in Brazil, starting the second week of January. On January 14, 2015, Yentl Lieuw will start 2 weekly flights to Manaus, Brazil. It will be a non-stop service flight from here to the Amazonian rainforest. Manaus will be Yentl Lieuw's 20th destination. Passengers from other destinations can travel via Yentl Lieuw's hubs on Aruba or Curacao to Manaus with a short transfer time. Manaus is worldly known for its ecotourism, traditional medicines, and urban city life. The introduction of this flight marks yet another step forward for Aruba to be a gateway for Brazil and Latin America. This creates significant leisure and business opportunities for both the Caribbean as well as Brazil. Yentl Lieuw is offering introductory rates, so be sure to check that out. And we've got some big news here at the ATV studio. Our sports anchor, Kadochi Kok, has been selected to be part of a prestigious FIFA voting event. That's right. Kadochi is with you throughout all the major FIFA sporting events, so he has earned the right to vote in FIFA Ballon d'Or. A carefully selected group of international press members from around the world are eligible to vote for the best FIFA player and best FIFA coach from the time period of September 2013 to September 2014. Kadochi showed me the forms this morning. He has them in his hands, and he is very ready to cast his ballots via email this weekend. He unfortunately wouldn't tell me who he thinks the best player and coach was this year, but it's probably better for confidentiality reasons. Kadochi says he was on the list of nominees for this due to the information he provided to the organization that held a press event in LA. He traveled to LA earlier this year when he went to see Manchester United play against LA. It is quite the honor, so a big congratulations goes out to Kadochi. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere, because after the break, we'll show you how parents can successfully escape from a sleeping baby. Thanks for staying tuned to 15 on 15. Vacation boobs are now a thing. This is good news for the ladies out there who want to temporarily experience what it feels like to have big breasts. A new surgical procedure injects saline into the body. It is a procedure that can take as little as 20 minutes and costs between $2,500 to $3,500. A plastic surgeon in the States by the name of Dr. Norman Rowe invented this. He provides the saline injection into women's breasts so they can have breast implants for 24 hours. The motive for the invention is for women to have a way to accurately test out breast implants. The plastic surgeon is taking it one step further. Rowe is in the process of creating temporary implants that will last for 2 weeks because maybe a single day with implants is just not long enough. He calls them vacation boobs and says they could be ready for use in about 2 years' time. Dr. Rowe says vacation breasts would be perfect for special occasions like weddings and getaways and would also give women a better idea of what it's like to live with implants. Moving forward, biking is great for your health and for the environment, but it is a hassle to find a place to park it and there is a chance it could get stolen. Worry no more. Check out a bike called Impossible that is compact enough to fit inside a backpack and lightweight enough to be transported anywhere. This bike prototype is called Impossible. Inventors felt it needed to be more than just a folding bike. Those exist already, but this one can be even smaller and lighter. The designers decided to go for a frame built around circles instead of a single horizontal grider. The circular design of the frame helps to ensure that the bike spreads the weight equally across the frame. The designers put the seat and the handlebars at similar heights so that the front and rear wheels would bear the weight of the ride equally. Creators have used a carbon fiber as the primary material in the frame, making both extremely light and very durable. The connecting box in the middle of the frame is one of the handful of pieces made of heavier steel. The fold and unfold process for Impossible can be done in 4 steps. The Impossible bike comes in white, black, and pure black. Go on Kickstarter and search Impossible for more information. You can also contribute money to help the developers to get that bike out on the market. And now, parents know getting a baby to sleep is no easy task. Once they do fall asleep, it can be tricky to leave the room without waking the infant. But if you put a little effort into it, you can't escape. Very clever. Let's take a break. This is what's coming up next. Laughing with comedians from New York City, next.
Herpes is very uncomfortable.
Stop it! That's just harsh.
I've interviewed a lot of people throughout my career here at ATV, but I have to say it's not an easy task trying to get an answer out of comedians. They are fun though, I'll tell you that. Stand-up comedians from New York are currently on the island for a show. I was able to sit down with them to find out more about their line of work. Deciding to make people laugh for a living isn't always the first occupation that comes to mind. Chuck Nice and Brian Scott McFadden explains how they both got started.
My career as a comic started with a scarred childhood.
And so that's what I suggest to anybody. If you have a terrible childhood, you are on your way to being a stand-up comedian. Because I don't know anybody who had a happy childhood who's telling jokes right now. You know, just like, it was wonderful. It was like being in a Disney film. Like, you can't get any material out of that.
My father was a comedian, and my grandfather was in vaudeville, so which helps. And I had a very unhappy, miserable childhood, as we all did. And when you have that kind of thing, there's a lot of liquor and you know, Irish alcoholic family, that helps. There's a lot of isolation there. But the thing is, my father was a comedian, my grandfather was a comedian. I was one of the few kids who was punished for not goofing off in class. I was actually encouraged to get into comedy. My father was like, what are you gonna do, something respectable? And I was like, you know, because every time I tried to do something business-like, my father would go, what, making people laugh and goofing off isn't good enough for you? Is that the problem? So I decided to take the family route and get into the family business, and here I am, in Aruba.
The guys say it takes more than meets the eye to be earning an income in this industry. It takes more than just having a funny bone.
You have to write, you know. All the guys that are on this show, you know, one of the things that I really admire is like everybody is a hardworking comedian. Like they take the craft seriously, they write jokes, and you know, it's one thing to be funny. It's different to be a comedian. So a lot of funny people out there, not a lot of good comedians.
Women are the butt of many lines in their routines.
What do I talk about in my act? I talk about a lot of things about relationships. What women want is a big part of my act.
What do women want?
It's very complicated, that question, but if you'd like to know, you have to come to the show. I can't tell you everything, but women want conflicting, contradictory things in a man, and I will reveal the exact answer to the age-old question of what women want if you come to the show. And you can come and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong by the end of the show, but I will answer that question for you live on the stage at Aruba Ray's Comedy Club.
Those guys are a ton of fun. So if you want to catch a few laughs and watch them in action, you can do so from now until November 17th at the Marriott. Call 520-6606 for tickets. I'll share 2 of the guys' jokes with you on Friday night's show. They poke fun at Aruba, but in a clever and good-spirited way. That's all the time we have for now. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, so it is really great to be here. Because she's Russian, she's jealous, and now I have to sneak other dates through the lobby like the witness protection program. Because she saw me with another girl after we broke up. Next day I was sitting in the laundry room like, hey Anna, did the mail guy come today? Why don't you get your whore to get your mail?